Hey guys, it's John V here with PhoneArena. I'm doing a first look comparison between the Google Pixel 2 XL and the LG V30. Now this comparison makes a lot of sense. For starters, Google tapped LG to help them manufacture the Pixel 2 XL, so it shouldn't be surprised that we see a lot of influences from the V30. And you see that right away when you look at the front of both devices because they kind of use the same display. It's a 6-inch 2880 by 1440 plastic OLED display. It has the same 18:9 aspect ratio and that near bezel-less design that's been a trend of late. However, when you flip them both around, that's where we see a disparity between the two designs. Now honestly, I kind of like the V30's design a little bit more, even though it's a little bit more fragile because of its mostly glass surfaces, but it just has this premium look to it, whereas with the Google Pixel 2 XL, yes, it does use a metal and glass construction, but unfortunately, the metal kind of feels more plastic. And they both feature IP67 ratings, so they're both water and dust resistant. That's great, but there are some subtle differences as well. For starters, if you look at the Pixel 2 XL, it has dual front-firing speakers, which I love. They do make the bezels a little bit larger, but I don't mind at all. But unfortunately, it doesn't have a headphone jack, nor does it feature wireless charging, which are two features you're going to get with the V30. And as far as their processors are concerned, they both leverage the Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chip, both with 4GB of RAM. They're both available in 64 or 128GB capacities. However, you have expandable storage with the V30 because it has a micro SD card slot. Another area that might be crucial for some is going to be their software experiences. Now, as we know with all Pixel devices, they are from Google, so they're going to get the latest and greatest in terms of software updates. And out of the box, it's already running Android 8.0 Oreo with all the new features that come with it. So while that's great and it's fantastic, it's going to get updates a lot faster than most phones. Don't get me wrong, the V30 is still quite functional, and honestly, it doesn't really have too much of a customization with its user interface. And you're going to get still some of the same core experiences you get in any other Android smartphone. Now, if we pay attention to their cameras, this is going to be an interesting area because they're two very different handsets for this purpose. On one hand, I love the V30 because you have full manual controls with its dual camera system. Now, the dual camera system is very useful for me because you have an option of having a wider field of view with the second camera. And on top of that, when you add in all the cool manual video controls and when you add in all the color grading profiles it has to offer, it's really meant for content creators who want to make a lot of videos. On the flip side, the Pixel 2 XL only has a single 12 megapixel camera. It's not trying to do anything crazy with any dual camera system. And given that its focus is on simplicity and performance, just like last year with the Pixel XL, you know this handset's gonna be great for those people who just want to take quick photos with the best performance and quality. But they do have an interesting feature here with its portrait mode. You get that cool bokeh effect that you normally find with dual camera systems, but instead it uses some software tricks to achieve the same thing. So we don't want to rush to a judgment just yet because we haven't spent a lot of time with either devices, but they're both very compelling. As far as pricing goes, the Pixel 2 XL is going to fetch for around $850 starting with the 64GB version. In contrast, the V30 is going to be around the same price point. It looks like depending on who you go, it starts at $800. These two handsets are very different from each other. Even though LG is in the mix with both, there are some key differences here. If you're a content creator, I highly suggest looking at the V30, but if you're more of that just want to have a great smartphone experience that gets stuff done, then maybe the Pixel 2 XL is going to be a better fit. So if you guys want to learn more about any of the two phones I talked about in this video, you could check out our website, PhoneArena.com. This is John V, signing off.